Okay, can we talk about Sonic Frontiers? I've been dying to talk about Sonic Frontiers. But before I talk about Sonic Frontiers, there are a couple of things that I want to ask of you. Number one, how are you feeling about Sonic Frontiers? Is this something that you want? Are you interested in it? And number two, what are some other things that you want me to talk about Sonic related? Because I like talking about Sonic. If you want me to just have another video like this, I can get these out much more frequently. It'd be pretty great if I could just talk about Sonic. If you want to just know my opinions on Sonic things, I'm your guy, and it'd be fun. So, you know. So Sonic finally hit the big open world button, and that's pretty cool for Sonic. We've been seeing a bunch of these fan games like Sonic Utopia where they've made them open world, and I'd like to see that with like a much more like fleshed out design, and I'm really hoping that's what Sonic Frontiers is, because I like big open worlds when they're fun to explore and they're fun to control. You know, things like Breath of the Wild, things like Pokemon. Apparently Elden Ring's pretty good. Haven't played it yet, but if Sonic Frontiers can be good like that, I'd be interested in it. And I'm already interested in it because it's different and they're not just doing the same just boost formula kind of boiled down to just nothing. They're not making a nothing game, which they've been making nothing games for like a decade, and I'm looking forward to them really putting their A game into this. But even in all these fan games, something's felt a little bit missing, you know? You play them and you're like, this is fun sandbox design-ish stuff, but there's like, it's meant to be a fun sandbox. They're not trying to make a whole game out of them. It's just basically a big old tech demo of the way that Sonic could control. And for the most part, all of those games have Sonic controlling well. But what would I want out of an open world Sonic the Hedgehog game that would really make it stand out, I guess? So here's kind of what I would want. So we've seen in the one trailer with no gameplay that what they're showing right now of the Starfall Islands is, it looks like it's just one island so far, and it looks like it's like ruins and fields and grass. It's very realistic, not like hyper realistic, but like, like stylized realism, kind of more like Sonic Unleashed-y and less Sonic Lost World-y, But what I would really like is for them to they just gotta put a little bit of spice in there, something similar in art style to something like Sonic Unleashed, but pushed a little bit more towards Sonic Heroes, Sonic Color style, where it's not just ruins and grass and stuff like that. Like, we see that in every game, but this is Sonic the Hedgehog. You can have one, and the Starfall Islands are a bunch of islands, so what I'm hoping is that what they've all shown is the first island, and it can take care of a lot of the basic stuff you'd expect from an open world game. Like, the first island has fields, and it has a lot of old ruins, and it has a lot of like swamps and rivers and, forests, all the stuff that you'd want to see in a game like that. But then you play through the thing, you get to the boss, and then it unlocks the next island that you can go to. And the next island could be something that's kind of like a city island. And that city island could have like Chemical Plant, Casino Night styled visuals, City Escape style visuals. Not like, not exactly. Like, I don't want them to just copy paste and be like, Chemical Plant was in the Starfield Islands the whole time. Or Starfall Islands the whole time, not Starfield. But what I would like is I just want to get some of that like Sonic essence in there. If you compare something like Sonic Forces to something like Sonic 3, you actually realize that the art style in Sonic 3 is a bit more realistic than Sonic Forces. Like, I know that sounds weird, but if you just kind of like look at it, they aren't doing a lot of like the checkerboard patterns type stuff in Sonic 3. They've really kind of honed in having it be kind of realistic, but kind of like fantasy. It's just a sprite art style. That's what I would be looking for. I'd want Island 1 to be kind of like Marble Garden-y, and then have Island 2 be more, have like parts that are kind of Carnival Night-y, and then have, they'd also have like a base, like a launch base somewhere, and then, kind of have like each island have its own kind of identity that kind of has a lot of different kinds of Sonic levels in them. So yeah, like I said, second island could be, could really just knock out all the ones that people want to see. Casino Night, Chemical Plant, city level island, and then have another island that is like cave-ish, or cavey. It could be really, honestly, once you get to that point, you can just do whatever you want. I just want it to be something that you would imagine Sonic would run through in another game. Even something you could have like a ghost island, a whole, or even like a section of one of the islands could be like ghost area. I just want it to have biomes that are not just what you'd see in the real world, because that Sonic's cool. Sonic has a lot of cool level design stuff. Having a section of a desert level that is just Sandopolis would be really cool. It's just something that I think that they could really push for as far as the environments go. So first thing that I'd want the environments to be Sonic-y, but not like, pandery. I don't want it to just be like Sonic Lost World, where here's Windy Hill Zone, it's just Green Hill. Here's forest level that looks like it could just be in the first Sonic game, like Jungle Zone, And then, yeah, Sonic Lost World is the exact example of what I wouldn't want as far as the art style goes, because everything's like blocky, doesn't feel real, but it's technically Sonic-y, and I think like visually, it's probably the most polished 3D Sonic design game that we have, and that's kind of why I wanted to focus on it, because it is like the most polished, but it's kind of polished to a fault. It doesn't really feel like a real world that Sonic's running through. A lot of it's tubes, a lot of it's like weird ridges and blocks. It just doesn't feel real, whereas it does seem like Forces is going for a bit more realistic, but I'd still want them to go with things that you'd expect from Sonic. Like, I would really like there to be not necessarily a sky level, but something where like it's a big canyon level and there's a whole bunch of like floating sections that you kind of gotta like go through, kind of like Rail Canyon in Sonic Heroes, something like that. Or even having like a section of one of the levels be like a weird digital section, like in Shadow the Hedgehog's digital levels. Just make the environments really cool and unique and very Sonic-y, and make you want to explore them because they're cool, not to find things in them, not to find like 400 pieces of the Phantom Ruby. But I will get into that. That's a good segue of what I'd want to find as collectibles. This is a weird hot take. I'd really like for there to just be like the Phantom Ruby shards all over the island that you pick up. It's like, and a side mission is just that Infinite's trying to come back and you gotta find the Phantom Ruby pieces to stop like the null space from getting all over. Something weird. There's something that really, I want a little bit of continuity, something that acknowledges that previous games happened, but it doesn't like take over the identity of the game, because a lot of these games that have been coming out in the past like decade have just been like one-off things that don't really know what to do with the characters. So I really would like a thing where it doesn't have to be Infinite and the Phantom Ruby, but how interesting would it be to bring Infinite into a Sonic game and have him not really be the antagonist, just be kind of like a force of nature, where it's like, if you don't stop him, the world's gonna be destroyed. But he's not doing it maliciously, it's just that the Phantom Ruby pieces are not really centralized, so they're just kind of like corrupting the area around them. I think it'd be kind of neat. I think it'd be neat to have a character that isn't just like that you could evolve, that people did like, they like the concept of Infinite, but then when you actually hear him, he does that I'm not weak thing and he gets beat up by Shadow and nobody actually likes him. They just think he's like edgy, and that's fine. Bring some edginess in there. So that actually does lead me plot wise. I think the plot should obviously be minimal. I think Sonic plots being minimal is usually when they're the best, but I don't think they should be a nothing plot. I know Ian Flynn's writing the story, so I'm hoping that it's a really good story. But I would really like it to, I just want it to be a good story. A lot of these past few stories have been not super great as far as identifying the characters and all that stuff. Like, very one note. Like, Tails is smart, Knuckles is dumb. Like, it's very like, why would I like these characters based off the way that they are presented in these stories? They're not showing them in the best lights, and I would really like, if the minimal story that they have, to really like show off this aspect. But going back to the gameplay, what I would actually like, similar to how I was talking about, each island is like its own little like level. It's a really big, well, not little, really big level with a whole bunch of biomes and stuff, and you like find them. And I don't know how many islands there are. I would really like there to be like 7 for each Chaos Emerald. That'd be cool. But I understand that would be a bit difficult, especially depending on the size of them. But if there were only like, say, 4, you know what I would like? You beat the first level, you beat the first island, you go off to the second one, and we heard her in the trailer, you unlock Amy. Amy is the first character that you unlock, and then you can use her to go across certain parts of the terrain in a different way than Sonic. Like, not 100%, I don't want it to go from Sonic Adventure mech stages, Sonic Adventure Knuckle stages, Sonic Adventure Sonic stages. Like, I wouldn't want that. I wouldn't want Amy to play like Sonic, but say Sonic has like a role. Amy has historically not had a role, but she's had her like hammer that could pole vault her essentially to like reach higher areas with like a high jump. So, rather just replace like a couple of abilities. And Amy's always been the one that has like a double jump. So Amy could be kind of like the, all right, so this is how you play as Sonic. But if you don't really want to play with like the full physics and stuff, and you just want something that's a bit more reliable, then you play as Amy. And Amy's got like the hammer, and she can do like a slam move that can like hit things beneath her. She could just have a bunch of neat stuff like that. Double jumps. She's had invisibility in some games, but I wouldn't really want that. So then, yeah, second level, you unlock Amy. Third zone, you would unlock Knuckles. And then fourth and final zone, or like after you beat the, because after you beat the second zone, you unlock Knuckles to use in the third zone. And then the fourth zone, you unlock Tails. The reason that Tails would be last is because he can fly, and that's in an open world game that's busted. So I mean, I know Knuckles can glide and climb walls, but that's more like that makes me think of like kind of combining some of the Pokemon in Legends Arceus, because he can dig, that's the bear. He can climb walls, that's Sneasler. He can glide, that's Braviary, because Braviary doesn't fly, he just glides. So it's proven that like Knuckles' mechanics are really good for an open world and for just exploring it. But I think Tails being the either the third or fourth, they could either be swapped. But Tails flying and having more long range stuff, you know, like, I'm not saying that he should have like a gun, but maybe like have a blaster like he has in Sonic Battle, just something that differentiates him a little bit from Knuckles, because Knuckles, you know, he's the close range guy, but then Knuckles could be like the long, but then Tails could be the long range guy who can also fly. That's what I want. I want all four of them to eventually be unlockables, and then by beating the game, you could either unlock Shadow, or you could unlock Metal Sonic, and he would just be like, they'd both just be essentially Sonic. But that would be like a completion bonus, or if you get 100% completion, that's when you unlock one of them. Although, my preferred completion bonus would actually be, and this is like a pipe dream for me, is in one Sonic game, you get 100% completion, and then you unlock the Chaotix as they are in Sonic Heroes. Like, you have like the whole switching mechanic, and so they break the game because they can do everything all of the characters can do. And that'd be pretty cool. But that's just my opinion. These are my wants for Sonic Frontiers, because Sonic Frontiers could be the best Sonic game in a very long time, or it could just be another, another Sonic Forces, and everyone would just be disappointed. But I'm really hoping it's not that. Sonic seems like he's on an upward swing since the movie came out. So here's hoping that the next movie's good. He's hoping that Sonic Origins is good. He's hoping that Sonic Frontiers is fantastic, and it is a good open world thing. Also, I know I talked about, like, I want multiple aspects of gameplay, but I really would like all of the characters to be able to roll. Like, Mario learned how to roll in Odyssey, and Sonic still hasn't used momentum-based rolling. But even though he's the one who, like, invented momentum-based rolling, like, come on, just give it to Sonic. We don't need a boost. Like, I know that they have also leaked that the special stages are going to be boost levels, which works perfectly for the boost levels. But for open world, I really would like them to, like, have more physics and momentum-based stuff, kind of like they have in all of those fan games that are all really cool. But then, you know, have unlockable characters, because I think unlockable characters are other playable characters are an important part of Sonic, and if they get the Sonic feeling right, then it's easy to transfer, copy-paste Sonic, change a couple moves, call it a day, you know? It's not rocket science. People don't want them to be, when you say this game has 10 playable characters, they don't expect there to be 10 unique playstyles. They want them all to be kind of Sonic, but then with their own little flavor. Like, you want Tails, who's maybe a little slower, but he's easier to play as. Same with, that'd be more or less what Amy is as well. And then Knuckles is the cool one. And then Shadow's the cooler one for some people. I think Knuckles is cooler personally, but, you know, Shadow's pretty cool. The Metal Sonic's the evil one, so he'd be cool. And then the fun ones, the Chaotix. They're silly, they're wacky. So yeah, a little bit of a rambly video. I get it. But that's kind of what I would want from Sonic Frontiers. I would want it to be just a fun open world game with a bunch of unique area designs, a bunch of neat collectibles that you could find that are actually cool, like, and actually change the game. Like, I didn't even talk about the fact that, like, giving, like, slight customization, kind of like they have in Sonic Colors Ultimate, but actually good. Things like unlocking Knuckles' like treasure hunter hat, like things like that would be really cool. If you could find things that could do, or like do missions that could unlock that kind of stuff in the overworld, or like in the main world, because, I mean, you know, that'd be cool. Everyone would love that. Everyone would love seeing Sonic wear his favorite clothes from the OVA. Like, that'd be fun. It's just a fun thing that you could unlock. Having unlockables, having things to find, I don't even know what you would do, like, besides just running through them. I think that's the hardest thing. You gotta figure out what you're doing with the world that makes running through it fun, but then also have the want to explore more. And that I cannot answer. I'm not a game designer, but we just have to hope that Sonic Team actually knows what they're doing. It's a long shot, but I have faith in them for once. So anyway, thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. I just wanted to get a quick video out talking about Sonic Frontiers, because it looks fun. Bye.